Saquon Barkley took the league by storm last season. We're going to put his popularity in perspective, plus why he isn't slowing down anytime soon. Despite losing some key pieces, can the defense still be among the NFL's best? We're going to talk with the Ringer's Sheil Kapadia about that and more. And Nick Sirianni has a Super Bowl in tow and is ready for more. We break down the head coach heading into his 5th season at the helm. And with that, we welcome you here to Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. Thanks for joining me. I'm Amy Fadool. Saquon Barkley went from a star, no doubt about it, to an absolute household name with an historic season in 2024. He racked up more rushing yards than any player ever when you combine regular season and the postseason, and then, of course, capped it off with a Super Bowl win. Barkley's performance fueled his popularity. Per the NFL's Players Association, Barkley sold more merchandise than anyone else in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes second, Jalen Hurts was third. Barkley said he's been able to spend some time this offseason recovering, but is ready to get back to work.
It wasn't hard because everyone that I trust told me basically sit my down for a little bit. So in past years when I was younger, you think like, oh, someone's getting better than me, or like I'm relaxing and I see Derrick Henry running hills, or I see Christian McCaffrey posting something. Like the old me would be like, oh, I gotta go. I still have that competitive nature, but 2 completely different seasons. So just listen to everyone, and when it's time to go, I've been going, and when it's time to back off, I've been backing off.
That brings us to our 3-point stance presented by Toyota. We welcome in John Clark now to discuss Barkley and much more. John, our first stance is Saquon Barkley's best years are still to come. It seems hard to believe, but this guy is a machine. He's ready to pick up where he left off. He has a huge bar that he's set, 2,005 yards. But can he get even better, you think?
Well, I believe Saquon Barkley when he says he feels like he's going into his prime. He's 28 years old. He's going into his 8th season, and he seems to get stronger as the season goes on, and he seems to get stronger as his years in the NFL go along. But I think we need to temper our expectations a little bit because he's the 9th running back in NFL history to get that 2,000 rushing yards mark, and really the only other guy that had a season that was kind of near that was Barry Sanders, getting close to 1,500 yards. So if we're expecting Saquon Barkley to have back-to-back 2,000 rushing yard seasons, I don't think that's going to happen. And I think it'd be smart for the Eagles to not use him as much. And you saw when the Chiefs started to really key on him and take him out of the game in the Super Bowl that they were able to do that. But the Eagles' passing game was able to light up the Chiefs. So I think maybe rely a little bit more on the passing game. But Saquon Barkley is going to be running behind the best offensive line in the NFL. So if he stays healthy and the offensive line stays healthy, remember, there were a lot of times where he wasn't getting hit for a little while behind those holes. So I think he'll be able to stay healthy behind that offensive line. But don't expect 1,800 yards, 1,700 yards. I think that's unrealistic.
Yeah, like you said, though, they've got a big chance on the offense no matter who is getting the ball, whether the running back or A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. Our second stance, Jihad Campbell is going to make an instant impact. Yesterday, he signed that rookie contract. It's going to pay him about $15 million, guaranteed over the next 4 seasons. Earlier this week, Zach Bond spoke about what he has seen from the first rounder in Campbell.
It's a big dude. Similar to myself, a versatile guy that can do a lot of different things. Just starting to see him move around a little bit, and the dude can move, and he's impressively very smart on the board as well. So I'm really excited for him.
All right, John, we know Jihad Campbell has been working on the side this spring. He's still recovering from that shoulder injury. What are the chances he becomes a real impact player day one for the Eagles?
I'm not so sure about day one just because he's going to miss a little bit of time in training camp. But his skills and his athleticism are off the charts. So you heard Howie Roseman and others say he probably would have been taken higher, top 10 pick or something like that, if he didn't have an injury history. But we saw what Vic Fangio was able to do with Zach Bond. And you look at the way Jihad is able to cover. also in the run game, and then get after the quarterback. I think he's going to open up a lot more of him getting after the quarterback. So I think you're looking at Zach Bond and Jihad Campbell being quite a force, but maybe not right away because you have so many young players on this defense, and I think it's going to take them a little bit of time to adjust to the scheme and get used to Vic Fangio and what he wants. But, man, his athletic skills, he's kind of like the freak, Javon Curse, in some ways, where you can't wait to see him do all the different things, and Vic Fangio is going to know how to use him after what he did with Zach Bond.
All right, number 3, don't expect a drop-off from the defensive line. They lost a lot of key pieces. We know that. But, John, do you have enough guys, you think, on that defensive line to prevent any kind of significant drop-off?
That's a great question, and I think that is the key to the defense because in the secondary, okay, you're going to have Keely Ringo or at safety Makuba. They're going to get in there eventually, and there might be some growing pains with them. And then you have the situation at linebacker with the injuries. When will Jihad and Nakobe Dean be ready? So I think the key is getting the pass rush. You're going to miss Josh Sweat. You're going to miss Brandon Graham, but Nolan Smith is really coming into his own. You've seen how he's able to marry his speed, but also how he's bigger. And so he's using his size a little bit more. The question is, are they going to have the depth that they've had in the past? Are guys like Uche, Ojulari, Ajomo, are those guys going to be able to get more production and grow even more? That's what the Eagles are counting on. They had to go young here, but that still is a question to me. Do they have enough? And I think that's going to be the whole key to the defense. But I think led by Nolan Smith, you saw how he has really improved over these last couple years. I think Nolan Smith, as I was talking to Brandon Graham on my podcast yesterday, you're looking at double-digit sacks because Nolan Smith has shown that he can be the guy.
You mentioned BG, and he talked a lot about those guys. You guys get really in-depth about who's going to fill that Brandon Graham, not just the role on the field, but also in the locker room. So make sure you guys check out John's latest Takeoff podcast with BG. John, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much.
Yeah, good to be on with you, Amy.
All right, let's check out the playbook now, presented by Supercuts. When we return, I'll chat with the Ringer's senior NFL writer, Sheil Kapadia, for his outlook on the Eagles in 2025. Plus, could they make a move for a disgruntled star? And Dave Zangaro, Ruben Frank take a closer look at Nick Sirianni coming off a Super Bowl winning season. This is Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL.
Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles and official automotive partner of the NFL.